Morning, everyone. Welcome to today's message. But before we go into today's message, remember, whenever you're out in public, whenever in an area like we are here, always remember to wear your mask. It's to keep everyone else safe. Remember to respect others and to help with this COVID. And with that, I'm going to take it off as I read the message, as nobody is in the sanctuary to do that. Today's message, I want us to focus and think about what we've been doing since March. Our lives have been turned upside down. Most of us have never experienced self-isolation, wearing of masks, and wondering what the future holds for all of us. Fear, anxiety, they've overwhelmed us. Perhaps we have struggled. We have struggled with our faith because of all this. We question, where is God in all of this? Sadly, many people in third world countries, they have these feelings each and every day. They wonder where their next meal will come from, or whether they'll have shelter over their heads when the rain comes. They too also question their faith. Where is God in all this? It doesn't matter where we live in the world. We are all God's children. We all experience challenges throughout our lives that can and will challenge our faith. Faith is a hard thing to hold on to. Even people who have dedicated their lives to doing the work of God, at one point in time or another, have struggled with their faith. A great example of this would be the letters of Mother Teresa. She never wanted her letters published, because they revealed that she had questions throughout her life. Given that fact, if people of faith have questioned and struggled with their faith, we have to wonder, how do we keep our faith strong during these strange times? Today's reading from Matthew 13 might help us. Jesus gives us a glimpse of how we can keep our faith strong through a parable. And this is what the parable says. Listen, a sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell on the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Other seeds fell on rocky ground, where they did not have much soil. They sprang up quickly, since there was no depth in the soil. But when the sun rose, they were scorched. And since they did not have any roots, they withered away. Other seeds fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Other seeds fell on good soil and brought forth grain, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30. Now, that parable, and certainly parables are a wonderful thing, but like the people of Jesus' time, many of us struggle to understand what that parable means and how that connects to our faith. Lucky for us, Jesus explained this parable that we're talking about to his disciples. So if we continue in Matthew 13, these are the words we hear. Hear then the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches them away. What is sown in the heart? This is what is sown on the path. As for those who are sown on rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word immediately and receives its joy. Yet such a person has no roots, but endures only for a while. And when trouble or persecution arises on the account of the word, that person immediately falls away. As for that which is sown on thorns, this is one who hears the word, but cares about the world and is lured by wealth that chokes the word, and it yields nothing. For that what was sown on good soil, this is the one who hears the word, understands it, who indeed bears the fruit and yields. In one case, 100-fold, another 60, and yet another 30. Jesus speaks to us. He speaks to us we're the best and most fruitful place to plant the seeds of our faith. A place that keeps our faith strong and fruitful. But as for us to hear the words of Jesus, which is to love thy neighbor, be kind, be respectful, be fair, and live by these words, to share the words with others, towards others in our actions. Even when we're challenged or are struggling to be the best we can be towards others, we need to do our best to show kindness, comfort, respect to all people. That is where the good soil is. This is where we need to plant our seeds of faith. This is how our faith can, through time, bear the fruits that Jesus talks about. Our faith continues to be strong throughout the time that we continually work as Jesus has called us to. I'd love to give you an example of an excerpt that I received through James Taylor's book, Everyday Parables. And this will help us and understand why we need to continue to do our work. The parable is called the parable of the felt marker. One day I got a felt marker out of my drawer to make a sign for the church. I wanted a felt marker because we know felt markers are big and bold, and people can notice what you're reading. Now, when I pulled out the marker, I noticed it had dried up, which means it was useless to me. It wouldn't work. I don't know how long the marker had been sitting in the cupboard, unused, untouched, even forgotten, but apparently it was too long. You see, the stuff that makes the ink in the marker very smelly, the stuff that evaporates quickly so we don't smudge our page, has evaporated. As I sat at my desk making my sign using a pen, I started to wonder how often we don't use our faith, but store it in a cupboard, and it becomes dried up and unusable. Think about it. We come to church, we experience something wonderful, maybe like a mission work or outreach, and we love to hear that message, but we figure that the message that our minister has got for us, we feel we're not quite ready to share it with others. So even with all that enthusiasm, we put it in a cupboard until we feel it's the right time to share our faith. But at that time, we find our faith is dried up. Like the felt marker, our faith needs to be used regularly. We need to keep planting our seeds of faith. The seeds that I'm referring to are the seeds of mercy and kindness, seeds of love and justice, seeds of peace and freedom. When you plant those seeds of faith and continue to plant those seeds, not only those seeds eventually bear the fruit, but you will find your faith will not dry up like the felt marker that sits in the cupboard unused. It will keep your seeds of faith growing stronger and stronger. God bless. Take care.